All right, folks, I've been poring over the breaking news that the Baptist hospital in Gaza City was blown up. It is apparently the oldest hospital in Gaza, and it is in the north, where Israel was instructing people to get out of, because Israel was basically saying, we're going to bomb the shit out of the north, and so it's not safe for anyone to be there. Obviously, if you're running a hospital, especially in a time of war, and this is their major hospital because, it's downtown, the city center, the central business district, is in the north of Gaza, so you can't exactly evacuate the hospital. You've got nowhere to go. But Israel is not claiming responsibility for this. They are saying that this was either Palestinian Islamic Jihad or Hamas. There is a video of the strike, and there's also false videos that I've seen, ones that are confirmed, debunked, that show Palestinian Islamic Jihad rockets misfiring and hitting a nearby building. But at least one video that I saw that's getting passed around is old. The current video that I saw that seems to be confirmed of the hospital actually being hit. The projectile comes straight down out of the sky, and it's at a very high velocity, and blasts through the place, and it apparently has killed somewhere. I see some reports saying 300, other reports saying 500 are dead. Now, there are some people who are citing a tweet from some Israeli media personality where he was, claiming responsibility on Israel's behalf for the strike, saying, hey, it sucks that Hamas makes these hospitals targets, but, Hamas shouldn't operate near hospitals and Israel wouldn't have to bomb them. But then that guy deleted that tweet. Now he's saying, he's taking the official line that this was not Israel who did this. And that it was, in fact, from the Palestinian side, and that it was friendly fire. But to be fair, I don't think that guy necessarily would have inside information. I think that he is probably just, he went with his gut instinct, which was, yay, Palestinians got killed. I'm going to celebrate that. And then I don't think he actually knew one way or the other. I don't think that he would have that upfront knowledge, even though, people are posting pictures of him with Netanyahu. It's like, okay, yeah, not everyone who's met Netanyahu or met the president of the United States is read in immediately to classified military operations. So I wouldn't necessarily take that guy's initial confirmation as gospel. So we don't really know one way or the other. One video that I saw that was interesting was comparing the sound of what Hamas rockets sound like versus this strike, and then juxtaposing that against a video of Americans in Afghanistan using, I forget, it was like a JDAM missile or something like that. I don't know very much about these missile systems and things, so I'm not going to give my opinion one way or the other than I will say this was a very high velocity projectile, and I don't know if, because what we're being told, because Israel put out a very grainy video that I can't even see a building being hit in it, of a very slow moving, it almost looks like a flare, that's how slow moving this is, of a rocket going, launching up, going straight up, and then sort of nosediving back down and hitting a nearby building. But I didn't see a big explosion like I did in the video that was closer up, which does not show, a rocket being fired first and then coming down. It just shows a rocket coming straight down, or a missile, whatever you want to call it, into the building, instantly killing hundreds of people. And so the official Israeli video that is out so far, I don't find it very convincing, because it did not. It looks very different from the other one. It does not look like it's moving fast at all. It looks like it's moving quite slow, which I would expect for homemade rockets. Now, I don't know how advanced. I don't know what. I would have to be updated on what current Hamas military capabilities are like as far as these weapons. I don't know what velocities they're capable of, but considering how fast it was moving, I don't, and the angle that it looked like it hit from. It looked like it came from above. It didn't look like it was, they were shooting past this building and it happened to hit it from the side. It looked like it came from above and it was moving very fast. So I don't feel like if you misfired a thing and then it came and nosedived back down, it didn't look like it was, to my eye, totally untrained eye, it didn't really seem like it was moving that way. But why do I bring this up? Is it so I can slam Israel for bombing a hospital without solid evidence? No, that's not why I'm bringing it up. I'm bringing it up because whether or not this was an accident from the Palestinian side, or if it was intentional on the part of Israel because they wanted to take out somewhere where a lot of fighters were, or because they're just trying to get revenge and kill as many people as possible who they knew, because you would know the hospital would still be occupied. I'm not taking a side there one way or the other. Confirmed deaths that we already have in this war, much higher on the Gazan side than on the Israeli side. The initial, hundreds of people, over 1,000 who were killed, which is, in and of itself is insane to think about, that they were able to kill over 1,000 people back a week or two ago when the Hamas fighters paraglided their way into Israel. The Israelis have more than gotten their fair share of vengeance casualties. They have killed far more civilians on the other side than were killed on their side. So if this was about vengeance, you would think they've gotten their vengeance now. The bloodletting has been sufficient. Yet does this mean that they're going to stop? No, they're not going to stop. What is the goal then? Is the goal to reoccupy Gaza? I don't know. I think that would be very messy for Israel. I don't think Israel necessarily wants to have to reoccupy Gaza. For them, what makes the most sense is to use Gaza as a holding facility for their surplus humanity, for the overflow of Arabs that they don't want to have citizenship within Israel. In other words, the status quo is what benefited Israel the most. But now that things have kicked off, the momentum is such that it seems that a full campaign of ethnic cleansing is what they have in store, but the other Arab nations are not playing along. They are not letting Israel push these people into their country, which looks quite cruel if you were on the ground. If I were in Gaza, I would not care about whether it's ethnic cleansing or not. If there are Israeli soldiers with missiles coming after me, telling me to get out of my home, I'm vacating. Yes, I understand ethnic cleansing's bad, but I'm going to choose being ethnically cleansed over being bombed to death. I think that any reasonable person would do that. And so these people are rushing to the Egyptian border, trying to get out. Egypt doesn't want to let them in because they know that once they let these people in, they'll never be able to send them back to Gaza. And at the same time, a lot of people are going to stay in their homes and die rather than be ethnically cleansed. There's no good option here. So, you've got these people amassing on the border, which, is putting a lot of pressure on Egypt. But Egypt also doesn't know that, actually, I think this is how it works. Israel would be okay with people passing south into Egypt across the border. They don't want anything coming north from Egypt into Gaza. And so the Egyptians, obviously, since they don't want to have a humanitarian crisis on their soil, they don't want these wandering masses just waddling across the Sinai Desert, kind of the opposite way that the Jews went when the Jews were left Egypt, following Moses through the desert, into Israel. Now you're going to have the Gazans wandering south into Egypt through the Sinai Desert. The Egyptians don't want to absorb these people, just like if there's a civil war in Honduras, the United States does not want to absorb the losing side of the Honduran civil war. What they would much rather do is send in aid into this place to try and help them, so that, because the government is going to have pressure, because it's like, hey, these people next door to us, they're suffering, we should help them. And they don't want to let them in. So, and they also don't want to assist in Israel's ethnic cleansing because, that's a lose-lose for them. One, they have to do, the Palestinians become Egypt's problem. And two, Israel gets off scot-free. They get everything they want. And they're not going to let them have that win, which I wouldn't either because, you're just pushing off your problems onto me, F you. So it is, the whole situation is just, it's so screwed up. And the good versus evil narrative is just so tired. It is so insulting. Oh, and by the way, did I mention that the supposed safe zone in southern Gaza, Israel released these evacuation orders and said, hey, get out of your house. If you leave this area, you'll be safe, but we can't guarantee your safety within this area because this is where we're going to bomb. Well, guess what? When they did that, I guess, allegedly, according to Israel, Hamas leadership left too. They evacuated down to the south. So guess what? Now Israel's bombing southern Gaza because, well, that's where Hamas is now. and they're killing all the people who evacuated when Israel told them to. So what was the damn point if you're just going to bomb there anyway? There is no point. They aren't human to them. They are, as American Zionist Ben Shapiro would say, human debris. So with that said, I will see you folks back here tomorrow.